Verna from StampinNotes.com. How are you tonight? Well, I have a cute card to share with you. It's made with the Zany Zebra stamp set from Stampin' Up. And isn't that darling? It's an easel card. It says it's time to celebrate. And you open it up, it says happy birthday. But it would really make a darling baby card too. We're gonna make one with Coastal Cabana cardstock. And I love this color. It's one of my favorite colors. Isn't that pretty? So Coastal Cabana, and we are going to just give this a good press. This is 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And I'm going to take my bone folder and just make sure these fibers are broken down here where I've scored it. I'm going to show you first how to do the side edges, and that would be these right here. And I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And if you don't have the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, it is a tool that I use all the time. It has not only a scoring blade, but a cutting blade. And we're going to use a cutting blade right now. So we're going to open the card up, and we're going to put it on 1.5. And we're going to cut up to the score line. So here's 1.5. And I'm lining it up at the top and then down here at the bottom. And I'm going to take my blade, which is the darker one, and I'm going to cut right up to our score mark right there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to turn it this way, put it on 1.5. And I'm going to take the cutting blade and just score up to that score mark in the middle. So we've got 3 little flaps here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my scoring blade, and I'm going to score this middle flap. Let me fold it back so you can see it better. And we're going to score this at 2 1/8. So we're going to put 2, and then it would be the second small line would be 1/8 here. And we're going to use this light gray blade right there, and that scores it. And then this will bend like this in the middle, and that's what makes our easel fold. So we'll put that away, and I'm just going to again bring in my bone folder and score this good. Now for these side flaps, we're going to take Coastal Cabana Designer Series paper, and this is from the Brights collection, and we're going to adhere that to each side. And I will have all of the supplies and at the bottom in the description in this video, all the supplies you need, and a link to my website, and you can shop online there. If you place an order of $50 with before tax and shipping, I will send you the beautiful butterfly gems. They are really pretty, as a free gift from me. Thank you. And if you hit the YouTube button to subscribe and the little bell, then you will be notified when I upload my next video. And we'll do the other side. You'll see that the Designer Series paper has a pattern on both sides, kind of a denim look on this back side here that I'm putting the glue on. And you just need a little bit of glue, because a little bit of this goes a long way. Okay, and I'm going to move that over just a little bit like that. These are 1 1/4 by 4 inch, these 2 pieces. Now we're going to layer 2 pieces that are 2 3/8 by 2. All right, so we're going to bring in those 2 pieces. We're going to put the dots down. Don't you love these dots? They're just fun. Really cute. All right, so we're going to put this on this rectangle here, center that, and adhere that down. Okay. Just need a little bit of glue. Okay, Now we have our designer series paper on that we're going to use. So now we're going to do some stamping. Do all the stamping and get that done. So the only ink I'm using is Memento Black, and we're going to start with stamping our zebra on a piece of scrap Whisper White. And you can see that I fussy cut him out. I'm going to bring my Whisper White cardstock in and my zebra. I'm going to use my Memento Ink pad here. Actually, I think I'll do it this way. I'm going to tap that down on our zebra and give that a good press. There, he came out pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to fussy cut him out. I'm going to bring in our paper snips. And when you're fussy cutting, especially with white cardstock, you just want to leave a little white edge all the way around. That tail, I'm going to just go around like this. This happens to be a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock, and I would probably, for fussy cutting, it would be easier to use a regular. Okay, he looks pretty good. We got a little, I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. And when you're fussy cutting, you want to turn your paper more than your scissors. You'll get a better edge. All right, so he's done. I've used the stitch shapes for some of this. For this large circle here, that is the second largest circle. And then for the bottom, the sentiment and the background underneath it, I've used the two smallest oval dies in the stitch shape set. I use this set all the time. It's a good investment. What we have left to do is we need to stamp on this. It's time to celebrate. So we're gonna bring in our Memento ink and we're going to stamp It's Time to Celebrate right on this little oval here. And then we're going to also stamp the inside of our card. And this is a piece of Whisper White cardstock. It's 5 1/4 by 4. And we're going to stamp our happy birthday. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Next step is I'm going to adhere this cardstock on the inside of the card here. And again, I'm using, you can use a tape runner. Sometimes I do. I do like the glue because you can move it around a little bit. Okay, that looks, should be about right. It looks pretty good. And now I'm going to just put a little glue on these flaps. And I'm going to glue these sides down. There's one. I'm going to take and glue this other one. So I'm going to stamp a couple small stars around the happy birthday. I forgot about them. We'll just do some stars right here. And how about some on the other side here? Okay. So now we're going to put this part together right here where the donkey is. And I'm going to bring in my 2-inch punch, and I'm going to punch out a piece of black cardstock. I'm going to layer this onto the circle that I've already die cut out with a Coastal Cabana. Layer that on there and center it. Now I'm going to pop him onto that with dimensionals. Okay, and we're going to pop a few rhinestones onto our little guy there. Dress him up a little bit. I'm going to put one up here. I think one right here. He needs another one up there though. There. We've got him on there, and I'm going to glue him to that flap. Now this is going to be our stopper to hold this up. I need to glue our little white piece to this. Actually, I think I'll use dimensionals. I think I'll just use one, actually. It's so small. And center this on here. Put this at the front of the card, like that. And then I think we need a rhinestone on that piece too. All right, so now, you see how these flaps here are hanging over? I'm just gonna take my, especially this one, I'm gonna take my scissors and just go along this edge and trim that right off there. There. So our card is done. Isn't that darling? I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.